So this is interesting. I like this font choice. I like the image in the background. Um, don't love this font, but it's okay. Maybe tighten this up a little bit. Just gonna look at this in Photoshop. Um, I was also wondering, just because this is kind of intersecting a lot of this text a lot, I'm wondering how it would be if you went with something like this. Um, I don't know, maybe even smaller. It's awfully big. Yeah. What about something more like that? Like that, obviously with that texture filling in the whole background. And then for this text, or are those all three separate lines of text? Is that get that tighter and maybe a little smaller for each of these? Well, it's already 10 point. I guess that's maybe you don't want to go too much smaller, but at least a little tighter in there. And to me, that's a little nicer, where it's not that drawing isn't intersecting, because I feel like the drawing's getting a little bit more of um, its space for itself, and you have some nice, oops, some nice negative space here, where it just feels more open, and then of course, um, and then get the. Can we fill it with that? Oops. I mean, obviously you do it the texture and not just the color, but just to get the general idea. Um, I think that might be a little better, something like that. Um, this one image is pretty cool, but this text is so crazy and all over the place. I think that's really hurting you. So I'd go for a much simpler, just kind of align the text, make it nice and tight. Use that kind of cloud space like you are, where it's not so busy, but don't kind of have all this, left, right kind of thing. I think that's messy. Just nice and aligned in a tight little box, have all that information. And then you have a nice piece of artwork there. And then there is one other. This one I don't think deserves much attention. I think it's busy. I think the drawing is nowhere near as good as the other drawings that you have, and that layer of transparency on the busy background with the text on top is just it's too busy and hard to read. So I'd lose that one entirely, but this one I think is pretty strong. Consider shrinking down the character, and this one you could try cleaning up the text and making it tighter and make sure it's all the same size. It looks like to me that maybe this is smaller than that. If I'm not mistaken, it should be all the same size. But yeah, the artwork speaks for itself. It's really good.